I don't know if you can guess what we're doing here. Some people may think, oh, we're finding turkey. Nope, we got water in there. We got water in there, and we got a table over here. We're getting ready to have one of the chickens that we've been raising for dinner. So I got the set temperature at 140 degrees, because if you try to go down, it goes from 140 to 160. So those are my choices. So I'm gonna set it at 140. So hopefully that'll beep when it gets to that point, and then I'll know I got to go up about 10 more degrees, because I want about 150 degrees to blanch the chickens in to get the feathers to release. So I got my propane tank here. I can turn the heat up a little bit if I want to. Nope, I went the wrong way. I don't know if any of you have ever made a YouTube video, but we are back on track now. Took a little bit longer to catch the chicken without any help than what I thought. Asked my wife to help me, and she is probably in the house someplace. Looks like we're up to temperature. Since everything's going according to plans here, we're gonna go ahead and submerge the chicken. It's supposed to be for about 45 seconds. And I'll take it to the next step. I don't know if you've ever tried to dispatch a chicken before by yourself and try to film and not have a kill cone. But basically, I don't have any of those things. So this is really probably the most horriblest YouTube video that I've made today. So it seems like the feathers are coming out fairly easily. I don't have an automatic chicken plucker, and I don't have an assistant, so looks like I'm doing this solo. All right, to be continued. Get some feathers all over the camera here. Okay, turns out we didn't actually need any help from anybody else. After 30 minutes, we have a completely plucked and cleaned bird ready to go right directly into the cooking pot. Just kidding. So anyway, this is the middle stage here. I'm finding that some of these other feathers here are easier to pull out if you pull them out one or two at a time than to try to pull out a whole fistful. Otherwise it tries to tear the skin. Anyway, this bird was tagged for, she was an older bird, stopped laying, probably about 3 years old or more. So she's ready to leave the coop and let some other younger birds have her spot. So if you would like to support my channel so that I'm able to afford better filming. Where was I before I was so rudely interrupted while I was trying to stick my phone in my pocket? All right, phone going back in the pocket again. Let's try this one more time. So I don't know if you can see this because I don't exactly have any way to film and do this at the same time because I'm poor. So you kind of get an idea why they use the automatic chicken pluckers. But the feathers will come out. You just have to be persistent. Thereby proving once again, we don't need all these fancy tools and we don't need anybody to help us. Way better doing things by yourself without any help. Normally my wife would be here cheerleading for me while I'm doing something like this. She's got a cheer that she likes to do whenever I'm cleaning a fish or, you know, butchering a deer or anything like that. And it's a different kind of cheer than what you might hear like at a high school football game or something like that, or a wrestling match. This particular cheer goes something like this. Like that, and then she usually turns around and walks away about that point. So Maybe that's why she's not out here. All right, I'm gonna go back to plucking. All right, we're back at our bird here. I've noticed that most of the time on these YouTube videos, they have somebody that can hold the camera or a camera stand. We don't have that. So normally on these videos, they have what they call a pro tip. So here's a pro tip. Got this right out of the bathroom there. And don't worry, I'll put it back when I'm done. And so anyway, we're just gonna gently give it a little love here. That's my pro tip. All right, we're back to filming. So some people have told me you're supposed to hold your camera this way while you're filming. I don't know if it'll automatically flip it or not, but since I got to do this from my pocket, it kind of ends up being this way. So I made a hole here right next to the end of the breastbone, and I was able to grab the esophagus and the windpipe and get those out of there. Had to do a little trimming up here at the neck, and believe it or not, a mouse can fit down that hole right there. Actually, that's the windpipe, so it's even smaller than that. It's a little bitty tube. Did I even get it? We'll get it when we do the inside. So anyway, everything that happens on a chicken happens on that end right there. And they probably have a special name for that, but I'm just gonna call it the hiney. So everything goes in, comes out the hiney. That's where eggs come from. That's where they poo, pee, make love, all that stuff right there. And so we got to open that up and get in there to get the guts out and clean all that out. So that's the next step, but I won't be able to film that because I can't hold the camera and do that at the same time. Okay, I had to wash my hands in between shots there, but this is what came out of there. And that is the part that kids always sing about, frying in grease. So here we can see we do have some eggs still that were in various stages of development, and for some reason she had quit laying, and behold, she decided to start again. But it's a little bit too late for that, isn't it? Just so you can see here, I'm not wasting anything. The chicken guts got chopped up and thrown into the catfish pond. When I was a kid, the women on the farm would catch a live chicken and cook it for lunch. Usually cook one for dinner as well. And I'm gonna just say, from what I've experienced here today, it's way easier doing this by yourself. I would not try to get anybody to help you or anything at all if you're gonna be doing this. It's gonna slow you down. We don't need that. You know, the women aren't doing a lot of the things that they used to do. Roles have changed, and you know, if we can't trust them to participate in their own sports, I don't see how we can trust them to, you know, prepare our food. So we need to make sure we handle business, man. That's a joke, by the way. I'm just being really sarcastic. Boy, we are making some good progress now. So looked in here to get the good cutting board, and yeah, there it is right there. Best cutting board in the house. I don't know what happened to all the other ones, but that's the one we got. And so we're gonna preheat the oven, 400 degrees. So we're waiting on that. And that little baby's gonna go right in here. I wonder how long he's been in there. Good thing we checked on that. Okay, moving forward. So we got the bird, we got the pan. So what we're gonna do is cut that into pieces and put it in that pan right there. All right, managed to find a place that would hold the camera up. Doesn't mean you can see anything, but as long as I can see what I'm doing, that's what's important here. So basically, this is the same as when you're quartering up a mountain goat. You want to do basically the same thing. Let's go down the little inside of the leg there till you find the joint. Open that up, See, doesn't that look like it just came out of the store? And do the same with the wing area. Go right up into the armpit. What we should do is just cook this over an open fire. I think that would be a little bit more appropriate at this point for the level of skills and abilities that we're showing off here. See, just like from the store. It's interesting that this fat has got a lot of yellow in it compared to like your store-bought birds. I wonder if that's got to do with the free-rangedness of the whole dealio. So I'm looking for this, where that joint ends, right down here. Boom. Beautiful. I will do the wing. Wing, wing, wing. It's exactly the same way they do it at the store. Might be shocked to find out. They got these good cutting boards there too. All right, next. Entrance in this thing. Oh, you can see me from over there. Awesome. Now, the best thing to do when you're selecting the bird that you want to butcher is, if you don't know which one that you want to cull, you need to do the same thing that my grandma told me about how to figure out which dog to bet on at the dog track. And that is, you watch the dogs before the race, and whichever one does their business right beforehand, then that's the one to bet on. And after cleaning this bird, I can really understand that my grandma was a very wise woman. Deceased now, but I watched her cut these up when I was a kid, and it's amazing how much better she was at it than I am. But I think that's because she was old. And old people have an advantage. They spent more time with the knife, and they have less fingers to lose. So they're not scared. And I think, if I remember right, I'm trying to remember how she did that. There's probably an easy way to do this, to split this in half. I just remember getting the wishbone when I was a kid. I got a really good meat cleaver. But I didn't want to ruin my good cutting board. All right, that's open enough, it'll cook. All right, let's put this thing over here and see what we got. Ooh, baby, look at that. That's ready to go. Now, go to the cabinet. And it doesn't matter how many seasonings you have in your cabinet, because you're only going to use one of them. is the Lowry seasoning salt. And normally I would be shaking this with my right hand and be able to put it on evenly. But we're filming today, so all bets are off. All right, that little baby right there is gonna go right in that little baby right there once we get up to temperature. And then we should leave that in there for approximately an hour. Oh, got some evidence. So we're sitting here waiting for the oven to get up to temperature. While we're waiting for the oven to get up to temperature, we can clean up a little bit. All right, we're up to temperature. Change of plans. All right. All right, ready to go. Oh, look, empty. Set that right in there like that. And we wait. While we're waiting on the magic of fine cuisine, we are gonna go ahead and throw that in the composter. Letting this baby down. Make sure there's little holes in there so your little soldier flies can get in, lay their eggs. Chickens like to hang out under there for the soldier fly. Soldier fly, soldier fly. So, here we are start to finish. I built the chicken coop. Got the chickens, raised them from little chicks. Some of them I got full size, but I have been raising chicks, and developed my own watering system, developed my own feeding system. Right there. So as you can see, you can start out with just an egg and a broody hen, and you can end up with dinner on your plate. And you can do it all yourself without anybody helping you, which is nice. Now I gotta clean everything up and put it away, because nobody's gonna help you do that if you're doing it all by yourself. Make sure you sterilize your table and tools. Don't forget to put that away. So let that be a warning to you, boys and girls, when society starts to completely collapse and food shortages, and you run to the store to get something to eat, and everybody else has already gotten there and grabbed everything, and they're loading up their carts and hoarding everything, and society is in complete free fall, and you're gonna have to know how to take care of yourself, and the best time to start doing that is now. And make sure you do it by yourself. Make sure there's nobody there to help you while you're doing these things, and make sure you film it by yourself too, because there's going to be nobody there that wants to film. Not when society's in free fall. There will be no filming unless you do it yourself. So very, very important that we learn some of these skills today. Another pro tip: when the grid goes down, the lights go out, you're not going to be able to find things. So you want to make sure you put your tools back exactly where you found them. Done. Perfect. And voila, we have our finished product.